Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Please welcome me back, okay? Because life has been lifing to me as of lately. I get it. I have a promised day, but life has been lifing. Life can happen to any one of us. You know what I'm saying? And I just be looking at it as I don't want anyone out there to be thinking like, okay, she has a podcast and she be talking and everything and she be missing out on days. I'm sorry. Life is hard. I always talk about it. Life has been lifing, but I am literally back in action, okay? I am here to stay. I love talking to you guys. That's why, because of life, I want to talk about today how my personal opinion, as always, I feel like after certain events in my life, like something has to happen, like something bad. I'm not trying to sit here and make it seem like it has to be horrible and it has to be horrific. And I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying that something out of the ordinary has to happen that kind of makes you feel some type of way. It has to happen in order for you to receive the blessing. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I did have a fallout with one of my friends, and I don't care what nobody say. Like failed friendships, like when that's over, that can hit alongside with like a relationship, and especially if it's like a long time friend and all that. Yeah, like that stuff be hurting. But for me personally, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all like, hey, listen up. This is what y'all need to do. I don't want y'all thinking I get down like that. I don't. I take my own advice. I do. Whenever I get in my feelings, and of course, number one, I sit here and pray about it, but just to hear something encouraging, like something that can push me past my stumble, I even go back and I listen to my own episodes that I put out to you guys to put me in a better mood, to have me sit here and think, especially about the ones that I've been doing recently. You got to sit here, depending on the situation, like, do you play any part in it? Are you sitting here and taking accountability for what was done if it was your fault? And sometimes it's okay to sit here and be the bigger person. Well, I'm not going to say sometimes. I used to think it was sometimes because people get tired of being the bigger person. But no, you always have to be the bigger person, because if you sit here and you be like, you know what, I'm always the one that has sense. Like, why is it always on me? That's good, because that shows your character. Like, no matter what situation you get put into, you're still going to remain you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even switch and try and be something you're not, because at the end of the day, your mask is going to fall off and everyone's going to look at you and be like, oh no, you wasn't like that. Yeah, like, don't do it. Please don't do it. But yeah, that accountability and just taking it all in. Just don't change who you are, though, because it's a little early, but I'm about to do a little personal talk with y'all. So I did have a fallout with one of my good friends, right? Of course, like I said, that thing hurt. It hurt. So I listened to me and I was like, you know what? You're right. After we pray, we're going to sit here and think about it and look at it entirely, and not just what the other person did. So I sat here, I took the time out and I thought about it, and I was like, oh, okay. I figured it out. At the end of the day, y'all know I told y'all this early on. Like my tone, like it's like my tone. But I be feeling like you're not about to sit here and play me, though. I mean, if you want to get down with it, we both can get down, but that's wrong. That's wrong. Don't do that. Because if you try and sit here and step to that other person's level, you're even looked at worse than they are, because that's their character. Now you're coming from 100 down to 2 just to meet somebody. That's not smart. Don't do that, because it's like you're lowering yourself. And then within the same instance, you never know who's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can sit here and be going off on someone, or just being nasty to them, talking nasty to them. And what if you're in the midst of starting a project, or you trying to get something done, and the person in charge overheard or saw what you did? You just messed up you. That person ain't do nothing. You ain't have to sit here and match their level. You did that to yourself. So when you want to sit here and think about why didn't this work out, it don't got nothing to do with that person. That's you. That's all your fault. Take accountability for it, or live the rest of your life sitting here blaming people. You ain't gonna go nowhere like that, though. Your life is just gonna stay where it is. It's never, well, I'm not gonna say never. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be any type of progression for the time being, until you sit here and reevaluate yourself and come to the understanding, you know what, I do need to do better. Because at the end of the day, this is my life. I want to be looked at as a good person, because I know that's who I am. Not for a show, just knowing that that's the type of person you are. Because understand this, all shows come to an end. You know what I'm saying? So how long do you plan on really being and doing things that's not you? Just stop it before something messes up. But back to the whole friendship thing. So after I sat here and I realized, and I was just like, oh, okay. So I said it like that. Even with the tone, you got to think about it. If I'm sitting here talking to people some type of way, or I'm sitting here cursing at somebody and this and that, be able and make sure that you come to the understanding that if I'm throwing all this out, I can't sit here and get sensitive or be in my feelings when they throw it back at me. Because if you are like that, and then you gonna get sensitive when all that you threw out came right back to you, don't do it. Don't do it. Or maybe keep doing it, because and then maybe at some point you'll understand, like, oh, okay, I started this mess. It wasn't even coming back at me like that. So you got to think about it like that, because at the end of the day, when a problem occurs, it takes two people, or maybe like a group, for it to happen. It's not just you. I'll say that. I don't want you thinking every time something bad happens like it's me. That's what I used to think, like it's my fault. No, it takes two people to create a problem. You know what I'm saying? So don't do it like that. But just make sure you take the time out so you can sit here and look at yourself. Like, can I really say that I started that, or had any involvement in this mess? Was I not speaking the way I want to be spoken back to? Did I do anything wrong before I start the blame game? If you come to the understanding, like, you know what, it wasn't entirely my fault, but I did a little bit. At that point, you could sit here and reach out and be like, hey, I know it's been a good little minute, but I do want you to understand that I sat here and I thought about everything. And to a certain extent, it was me as well. It wasn't just you. You know what I'm saying? But again, that boils down to the person that you're talking to. Maybe you dealing with somebody that's like, nope, I'm wiping it clean. I heard what you said, but I don't care. Do not, I'm speaking from experience, do not let that get you to the point where you just want to sit here and be like, well, you know what? I shouldn't have never hit you up. No. Again, that's not for the other person. That's like for your inner self. That's for you. You felt like you had to sit here and reach out and let it be known. If it's not received, it's fine. Just come to the understanding that it's said. That's fine. If nothing bounces back from it, then it is what it is. But with my situation, I sat here and I spoke about it. I even sat here and I spoke about how it literally changed me as a person, because even though it was hard, it was just like when I lost that friendship. And when I really bounced back, because at that point, I couldn't call my friend. All I had was myself. When I sat here and like bounced back to me, I was like, yo, like that was dope because I am an amazing person. Like that was dope. Like I'm finding me again. And I see the little things that shouldn't be said, that I would just sit here and just make it a habit. I'm going to let this be known. No, do not do that. Everything does not have to be said. Some things you can just take it in and then just move accordingly. But everything doesn't have to be said. Sometimes you can mess yourself up like that too. Sometimes it's okay to just keep your mouth shut. Like, don't say nothing. It's okay. It's grown people in the world right now. At some point, a lot of people got to understand, like, we are all adults. Like, I'm not about to sit here and baby you to help you figure out what I'm saying or what I'm getting at. I'm not going to do that. If we sit here and we can't have a conversation, that's not on me. That's on you, because I'm coming correct. I'm not yelling. I'm not cursing. I'm not doing all that. I'm just being an adult, sitting here bringing an issue to hand and trying to have a conversation. If you're not in a place to have a conversation with me, that's fine. I would even respect it if you just be like, hey, I'm not there right now. I don't know if you just want to call it a day, or maybe we can talk another time. That's fine. I respect you for it. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, you need to grow up. No, you don't got to tell nobody to grow up. If people want to grow up, trust me, we're all adults. They will grow up. If where you are in your life right now, if that person is not the person that's going to sit here and be an asset opposed to a liability, you need to just let that go. It's okay. Because you got to look at it like this. Like, okay, with you being here, are you something positive in my life? Like, you're not like another part of the world that just brings me down all the time. Or would you be like a little sunshine here? If you're not a sunshine, I'm sorry, you got to go. You got to go. You can make things right with someone. That's another thing. Even if you've came to the understanding like, okay, I wasn't the best person that I was at that time, I do want to make amends. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see you out on the streets or whatever, it's not like it's bad blood or, oh no, I don't like this person. And it doesn't have to be that. But then again, we can't change how the other person thinks or whatever the other person says. Maybe after y'all do mend it up, and then this person like, yeah, she or he reached out to me, but I still ain't messing with him. It is what it is. Don't let that bother you. It is what it is. You still are grateful for having another day to be on this life. It's okay. It is what it is. You can sit here and mend a friendship, or you can mend whatever with someone. It doesn't mean that things have to go back to the way that they once were. Some people are probably like, hey, we can just be cool associates and nothing more, because whatever happened really made me feel some type of way, and I don't even see you like that no more. And that's okay. You have to respect it. You can't force anyone to do anything. I don't care if we talking about friendship, we talking about family, we talking about a relationship. It don't matter. You can't force no one to be on the same page as you. If they pass the page, they're in a whole nother book right now, but you're still on the old book. It is what it is. You said what you said. Either we move forward, or I did something that bad. You want to stay in the past, then you stay in the past. I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not that person that you knew. I'm not even going to say no, that you knew, because I moved on from that. And sometimes it is people that you associate yourself with that maybe they don't want to see your growth, because you've been that other person for so long they could even come down to the point like, I don't even trust that you've actually changed. And they're entitled to it. That's fine. But the biggest thing is make sure that you know when you change, like it's not a temporary change and it's like, cool, we friends again. Or I'm talking about friendship. I mean, it could be anything. Or your relationship. Or maybe you and a family member wasn't talking and now you're talking again. As always, it could be anything, okay? I just did friendship just to do friendship. But when you sit here and change, make sure it's not temporary. Make sure that you've literally found you and you're sticking to you. Like you're not going to go backwards. At times, I wanted to say at times you can go backwards, and it's true, you can, but before you go fully backwards, make sure you catch that, because it could be a little scary. Once you start sliding back, sometimes a lot of us don't make it back to where we just were because we get into that little comfort zone, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember being like this. Ooh, I haven't went off in a good little minute. That felt good. No. Don't do that. Going off, I get it. I used to do it like all of the time. Man. Y'all not getting me back there. But I'm just saying, I know the feeling like after you do it, and it's like, yes, like I stood up for myself. Like I was out here handling business and all that. But after you sit here and you go off on someone, like, what joy is that really giving you? Cool, you said what you said, but at the end of the day, you're going on with the rest of your day, still being mad or still saying, yup, I did that, and then the other person's silent. So now you're mad, I just went off and this person don't even have nothing to say. No, that other person is silent because they're experiencing their growth. Everything does not have to be said. Sometimes there's no need for a response. Make sure when y'all be listening to someone, like actually listen. Because you could hear a lot from listening to people. Everything doesn't have to be said. So that's why I was saying sometimes something bad has to happen a little bit. Sometimes you got to feel like you lost it all to really take the time out to see that the person that you're turning into, that old you cannot come along for the ride. Because if you bring that old you with you, you ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. I know that's mean. But if you changing, like, you have to change entirely. And I'm not saying like change you as a person so you can fit in. No, I'm saying if you realize that you had bad habits in the past that you used to do, that you used to say, that you used to get into, if you're trying to grow and be a better you got to leave the past in the past. That cannot come along for the ride, because your past is not going to accept the growth. It's not going to accept this new venture, because it's going to be like, no. Remember back in the day, we wouldn't have, girl or man, we ain't in the back in the day no more. The world is different now, and I'm just trying to grow. Feels like you trying to put me down, so I got to leave you back here. I love you though, but stay away from me, because this growth is more important than the way we used to get down. I'm not there no more. Sometimes it be like that. So I'm telling you, oh yeah, to caption it all up. Yep. With me and my friends. So now it's like, we're good to go. We're good. You see what accountability can do? And you see what having a conversation can do? It's okay. But y'all ain't about to blame me if y'all trying to sit here and rekindle old friendships or relationships or with y'all family and everything. Y'all ain't gonna blame me. I do not know the other person. And just because you grew and you found yourself, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't there yet. A lot of people want to bring their old self along for the ride, and that's on them. That don't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? We just sitting here trying to grow and get 2 hour mark that we've just been working so hard for. It's okay. That growth gonna hit you though. It is. It's gonna make you sit here and be like, man, I was wilding, man. I ain't even have to do all that in the past. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe in that moment you weren't supposed to get where you are right now. You had to lose things in life. You had to be alone, because being alone, all you want to do is just sit here and pray and think about what happens. Of course, emotions are going to come out. But once you have those emotions and you sitting here praying and you sitting here looking at yourself, don't be hard on you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you be hard on yourself or you start speaking down about you, it's an inner you that really be listening. I believe that. I don't know if y'all believe that, but I do. It's like your inner you is listening to you. And if you're sitting here speaking out loud saying how you're never going to make it in life, or I'm just this horrible person, at some point in your life, you're really going to start believing that. We need to make sure we speak to ourselves correctly. We just need to. Something happens, something bad happens, you did it, it's okay. It's okay. Just make sure it don't happen again though. But just be accountable for it. That's it. Just be real about it, be accountable for it. And sit here and pray about it. If you want to sit here and reach out to whoever that you want to make amends with, again, even with the amends making, it doesn't mean things have to go back to the way they were. People are at different places in their life right now. The person you probably think about, or the group of people, or whoever it is, you're probably thinking of them the way they were. Maybe that can be a bit of hesitation why you don't want to, but it's okay. At the end of the day, it's like it's for you. So you just have to start moving for you. It's okay. Because who's going to make sure that you're okay at the end of the day? You and God. That's it. Or let me rephrase that. God and you. Yeah, I got to put God first. So, yes. Y'all make sure y'all be good out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the end goal is all of us going to be out here winning. That's just the gist of it. But in order for us to win, we have to be a better me. You have to better yourself, because God is not going to sit here and give you what you've been working so hard on for. And he's looking at you like, I still don't see that you're ready for it yet. That's why all of that anxiety and all that doubting yourself has to go out the door. Because what if what you've been working so hard for is here right now? Say, by instinct, God's like, you know what? I've been seeing it. Let me give it to him or her. And then once you get it, you start being scared. Like, oh, no, I don't think I can do it. Oh, no. And then you don't get it. You don't get it done, and then you start doubting yourself. But ultimately, yes, it is you, because you still don't think you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. You just have to. Sometimes we're the reason why we be missing out on marks, because of us. We don't trust us. We're looking at the situation as it's so big and I can't do it. You can. You can. Trust me. Believe in yourself. Like I keep saying, I'm telling y'all, prayer is something different. Make sure y'all take the time out to sit there and pray. Even before anything you're about to venture off to, anything you about to do, or anything you lost, sit there and pray about it. My biggest thing is, when I lose things in life, it's probably due to the prayer that I pray about. Like every night, I just be praying and I just be like, Lord, if it's not for me, let it go. Or Lord, if it is for me, please put me in a place where I'm becoming a more accepting person, opposed to thinking that everything is a setup. Okay? It takes time. But at the same sense, no one can tell you how to pray either. Because if someone's sitting here telling you how to pray, I feel like, don't get me, I feel like it's not genuine. You know what I'm saying? Just because you pray like that, I don't have to pray the way you do. So, Yes, you guys, as always, I really hope that this helps someone out there, and you already have all of my information. If you guys really like all that you guys are hearing, please subscribe and follow the podcast, and I promise I will be back next Sunday. Alrighty, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day.